right, everybody, long before sourdough became a pandemic hobby, it became the life passion of our next guest. So he has taken everything that he's learned from working at specialty bakeries and Michelin-starred restaurants, and he's sharing it all in his first cookbook called Bread, Etc.
Well, please welcome back to the show, chef and baking professor, Matthew James Dubbing.
Thanks so much for having me back.
Professor.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me back.
We're very thrilled because you brought a lot of bread.
Brought a couple,
and
yeah.
also we enjoy you a great deal.
Of course, yeah.
Hey, listen, Matthew, I feel like bread can be very intimidating to make for a lot of home bakers, but you call this accessible. How so?
So I really tried to break down foundational skills that help you get into other breads. So once you learn a skill like braiding challah, that transfers into shaping this type of bread. And I break down some of the theories why. So if you have a mistake, you can say, well, why did this happen? And then when you reference it, you can correct that in the next bake.
Okay, let's go in a little deeper. So what are your top tips for someone who's just getting started in the bread game?
Great question. Number one is read the recipe from start to finish.
What a concept. I could learn from that, yes.
Very good.
Number two is a schedule. A lot of these breads are made over a couple days, so write it out on a piece of paper. 10 a.m., mix this, 2 p.m., do this. That'll save you the 2 a.m. baking bread. And then finally, I would measure everything out before you get started. Okay. Mise en place, everything in its place.
Okay. I love that. Now, you said yeasted bread is a great place for beginners to start out. Why?
Excuse me. I like to start with yeasted bread because it's very accessible to most people. You don't have to manage a sourdough starter. There's no side thing. And you can make great bread in a short period of time. This bread right here takes about 4 hours, and there's also a pita recipe that you can make from start to finish in less than 30 minutes.
Okay. Oh, that's fantastic.
Okay.
30 minutes, sorry.
I have 2 little kids. I gotta be fast.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, this is looking so good. Why don't we start here with the challah bread? Tell us all about it while we give it a taste.
So this challah bread is something that I typically make weekly on Fridays for our Shabbat dinner. Now, I learned how to do this with author and amazing baker Bonnie Stern.
Oh, amazing.
And I assisted her on some workshops. And I just kind of learned the technique from her, and I think it's just a great bread. It tastes good, it's versatile.
Love it.
It's so good, it's so good. My mouth is full, so I'm gonna be a little bit rude. But you are known as the sourdough king, and you have a recipe that you claim is easy. So what do we know about making beginner sourdough? We're going from yeast easy to sourdough maybe easy.
I think the biggest thing to remember is all of these breads are a lot of little steps to get to a final product. So we break down each step, explain the why, and that gets you the final product. And that's what makes it easy, is when you know, oh, I'm mixing this because of this, versus following something blindly and you're on this 2-day journey and you don't really know where you're going.
Okay.
So you kind of work backwards through it, if that helps.
Okay, that does help a lot.
My into sourdough is when Taylor Swift talked about it on the New Heights podcast. And she said on the podcast it's become her obsession to make sourdough, but she said she throws in all kinds of mix-ins, like sprinkles. So I just want to ask the professional, what is okay for mixing in and what does not work as a mix-in?
I have a 4- and a 7-year-old, both girls, so I heard all about that. and they're begging me for sprinkle bread. What I would say as a general rule is you don't want to use anything that's really wet, like let's say a strawberry that's going to let out liquid. Any kind of nuts, seed. You could use cheese, peppers. If it is really moist ingredient, you might want to dry it out in a dehydrator or roast it a little bit. But really, it's a ratio. So once you have the ratio and the dough down, you can put just about anything in the bread.
Oh, and the one you put in for us in this sourdough, you put in cheddar and jalapeno.
Oh, come on.
Can you tell us about it?
I actually snuck in a bit of smoked cheese in there too, because this is a special show and I wanted to do something nice for you. Jalapenos, end of summer, perfect time for it, and cheddar, number one bread in our micro bakery. People love it. One of the most popular breads I've ever made. You tell me what you think, though.
This is
amazing.
So good.
This is all you need. It's all you need.
Thank you.
So this recipe is in this book.
It is, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is fantastic. Now, this is really exciting because you've made us chocolate focaccia, which I have certainly never had. And this is another one that you say is an entry-level bread, even though it uses a sourdough starter. So explain that for us.
Chocolate, well, the chocolate part's step 2, but the focaccia in general, it's baked in a pan. You put the dough in the pan and then you're pressing into the dough with a bit of oil. So even if the dough's not perfect and you don't get the perfect final result, it's still a pan bread. So I think that it's a great place to start because it's so forgiving.
Yeah.
P.S. I do not smell or taste any chocolate.
Okay.
Is that right?
So it's made with cocoa paste, cocoa powder, and water.
Okay.
And this actually came from a dish in Barcelona where kids after school eat chocolate, olive oil, and salt. And that's the inspiration behind this. Sometimes I'll put chocolate on top of the dough for my kids, the chips and stuff like that.
You get it at the end there.
And you get the bitterness.
Yeah.
Oh, I got that at the end.
At the end. Yeah, right
It's,
there.
At the end back here.
Yeah.
It's a
Got it, okay.
Catalan specialty.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
Love that. Okay, another one, I feel like this one, when you talk about accessible, so pizza dough we know is a great one. And so homemade pizza, what other, types of, what's the question? What makes it more accessible maybe than maybe other types of bread if we go with the pizza?
I mean, at the bottom line, when you put cheese, sauce, vegetable on anything, it's good. That's what makes it accessible.
Yeah.
Even bad pizza's good pizza, right? So you can make a few mistakes on the dough. You can kind of can bubble up differently. But once you top it and knead it, I think you have a lot of ways to hide.
Yeah.
It does start with the dough, and the foundational dough is what really makes it good. But it's a great place to start out when you're just learning.
And you didn't bring any old pizza. You brought us pizza with potato on it. Huh? Now I'm a fake Italian, someone who likes to pretend they're Italian.
All
So
right.
I love potato on my pizza.
And gorgonzola.
And gorgonzola, it's such a great pairing. What have you done here, though? Tell us about this.
This one has potato, gorgonzola, a little bit of mozzarella on the bottom.
Yeah.
And then I snuck in a little bit of shaved onions in there because, again, this is a special show, so I wanted to do something
And you're a
extra
classy
nice.
guy.
Yeah.
And onions are classy.
Thank you. It kind of started actually as a way, to be fully honest though, it started as a way to use leftover potatoes. So I've shaved them for this, but at home you can use whatever's in your fridge, leftover roast potatoes, anything like that.
Wow,
This
love
might be
it.
my favorite. This is so good.
So
Matthew,
good. So good.
you.
You're an extraordinary
Thank you.
bread maker, and now you're a bread author. Wow. Thank you so much for
Thank
feeding
you.
us. Hey guys, guess what? Bread, etc. is available now, and studio audience, you're going home. Making sourdough bread became a popular hobby during the pandemic, but our next guest made a career out of it long before then. His passion has taken him from specialty bakeries to Michelin-starred restaurants, and now he's taken over social media.
It's true. And he's here today to share some of his professional bread making knowledge. Is YouTuber Matthew James Duffy. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
We're excited to have you.
And you brought a little bit of bread, which I'm very excited about.
I brought a few.
But listen, you're going to show us today, you're going to take us through the bread making possibilities from easiest to hardest. So we're starting with the easiest, which you say is challah bread.
Yeah, it's a really great place to start. It's a super versatile dough. Put everything in the mixer. There's no folding. It's really simple. You just kind of let it do its thing. And the
it's
braiding is like,
Gorgeous, too, right?
Thank you.
Okay, so there's no yeast, or is there yeast in this? This is
yeah, so this bread is made with commercial yeast, and the rest of them are made with a sourdough culture.
Okay.
So it makes it even easier because you don't have to manage a starter. You don't have to stay home all day. You can just get right into
Got it. Okay,
And commercial yeast, it's like the little thing in the envelope,
Yeah,
right?
there's some here somewhere.
We get it. Okay,
Gotcha.
so
We have
that's
some,
great.
we have
So
some,
take
yeah.
us through. Okay, so just quickly, how do we make the dough?
So to make the dough, we put everything in the mixer: flour, eggs, olive oil, water, yeast, salt, sugar, or honey.
Yep.
Mix it together, and we're gonna give it about 90 minutes to rise,
Okay.
covered. Then we're gonna break it into strands, and then we're gonna shape
Then we're gonna braid.
them.
I feel like I can braid because I've
You're gonna
braided hair
braid.
before.
Do it, Cynthia.
Wish me luck. Here we go. I'm gonna give it a go. And you're gonna do a more advanced, basically a show-off version over
Yeah.
there.
But you're
while
gonna
I try to do this
a
one.
classic version.
This is really exciting. Oh, now what do I do? Here we go.
Good.
Okay, so
No, it
keep
looks
going.
good. I love
Okay,
that you
keep
don't
going.
remember how to...
Am I doing
You can
it
do
right?
this, you can do this, you got this. I'm watching your fingers and I don't know what the
Okay,
heck's
I think
going
I
on.
did it. Or do we hate this?
I think it's
is
pretty
it all right?
good.
You're being
Yeah.
kind. It's
You
really,
can-
it's not as nice
You
as
can
it
go a little bit tighter, but other than that, I think it's great.
Do I undo it? Do I
Yeah.
undo it?
No.
Okay.
That's why this is so easy to make, though.
Okay.
It's still
Look at what you did!
Even-
Guys, the shot of this looks like a weird turkey. It is so gonna leave it. I love it.
This one is.
I love it.
Okay, so after you've braided, what happens next?
So we're gonna put this on a tray. We're gonna let it rise for about an hour,
Okay.
60 to 90 minutes, covered.
Yeah.
And we're gonna egg wash it. If you want, you can put seeds on it, and then we're gonna bake it, and that's it. So start to finish, 3.5 hours for something like that.
And you can add a lot of personality into this. Okay, we're gonna sample the challah you baked while you explain to us the next step in your our bread journey, which is making a sourdough starter. So I feel like that's a bit intimidating. So what do people know who feel like that's a bit much?
Yeah, so this can be a little bit intimidating when you first start. It is a wild fermentation, a fermentation of flour. Basically, we're cultivating the natural yeast that's in the flour. We're gonna let it ferment, sort of like what you would with kefir or yogurt.
Okay.
And then we're gonna add flour and water to perpetuate or keep it going.
Okay.
It's food for the starter. So it's gonna eat those sugars, it's gonna turn them into gas, which is CO2. That's gonna rise, and if you look really closely, you can see all those little bubbles in there.
Yeah.
And if you're daring, you can smell it. It's quite acidic. So
I've never.
Don't go too close.
Oh, that's a vibe.
So it's quite sour. Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite sour, which makes it a little. How do you tell if you're succeeding or failing when it comes to these?
So I think it's often overcomplicated. People think it's really difficult. A good way to know you succeed is just that. There is lots of bubbles, it's airy. Another way is the carbon dioxide gets trapped inside a gluten web. If you put it in a bowl of water, so if you just took a little bit of that out of there, it would float. And that carbon dioxide is gonna float, where if it sinks, we know that we need a bit of work, our temperatures are too cold, we need to work a bit harder. But when it's ripe like that, this would 100% float. You can see it's super bubbly and active. You can also kind of like swirl it around a bit.
alive.
Yeah, it's alive, truly, right?
It's alive, yeah.
That is so cool. So once you have a successful starter, you say a great place to start for a starter, with the starter, is focaccia.
Yes.
Which I'm very excited. We've got some dough here, and I'm gonna start dimpling the dough like I've seen them do on TV. So walk me through this. I feel so professional.
Yeah, so this is a really great place to start. It's versatile. You're gonna press it through. It's fun. I do this with my kids all the time. They love it. You're gonna take some olive oil and put some olive oil all over it.
Okay.
You can do a pretty good amount, yep.
Okay.
And then with your fingers, you're gonna press all the way down to the bottom of the pan. And you should feel the bubbles coming up.
How does it feel, Jess?
Cynthia, I need you to do it. It feels so good. I'm making this every day.
No one's gonna want this bread where both of us have had this, but
You know what?
I'm going in.
It's gonna go in a 450-degree oven.
We'll split it.
It's gonna go in a hot oven. Don't worry about it.
This is like kind of a really sexy, sensual experience. I could see this on date night.
Yeah.
You get together with Simon and Jason.
You could,
Good
yeah.
idea.
Maybe I should make little date night starter packs where you send the dough, you open it up,
Sexy.
come up with some different toppings.
Yeah, massage it in.
Yeah, the music comes on when you
That's
open the box.
It's like that scene in Ghost, but different. Okay, we're gonna, while we try this focaccia, tell us about the process of making the difference between making a sourdough loaf versus focaccia.
Yeah.
So this is a little bit more advanced. This is a sourdough loaf here. You can see a couple on the table.
These are gorgeous.
Focaccia is really forgiving because it goes in the pan. So you can salt it if you want.
Right.
It gets baked. Essentially, it's a flatbread, whereas this, we want to develop enough tension to get a good shape. The beginning process is the same. Mix the dough, ferment the dough, let it rise. Then when we come to shaping, focaccia goes in the pan, whereas this bread actually gets shaped. So I'm gonna just gently flour the top of it.
We're gonna move this focaccia a little bit out of the way.
Oh yeah, thank you. I'm gonna flip it over so that the wet side is up and the floured side is down. And then we're gonna kind of stretch this out. It's mixed very well, so it's extensible, it kind of stretches really well. And I'm gonna just pull the top down and kind of stitch my way down the loaf here. So it's making like a little package, like a little dough package. Flip it over. And then here you can see now you've got kind of what is going to be the shape of a bread. At this point,
Cute.
if you want to try it, you can, but if at this point we're gonna pick it up and put it in the basket so that the bottom is up.
Okay.
The bottom is up. Oh, gotcha.
Take it like a little bum.
Like the bum. Yeah.
Oh, like a little bum.
My oldest calls it a baby factory.
Oh, it does look like a little bit like that.
It's
It
like
reminds
she
me.
calls it swaddling, and then this is the butt cream you have to put on.
Okay, we're gonna sample this sourdough, and so talk about scoring. Like there are certain breads you really do need to do that score. Why and how and where?
After we shape this, we're gonna put it in the fridge overnight, 12 to 18 hours. Then we're gonna take it out and bake it in a hot oven. The scoring is done with a very sharp blade or a razor blade, and essentially you're gonna create, if you feel that it's very, it's got some tension to it.
Yeah.
So when you actually cut it, you're giving it a spot where there's no tension, and that's gonna allow the bread to rise in the oven and open up.
So it doesn't
Exactly, yeah. If you don't score it, it can just open where it wants. So you're basically creating a weak point. The steam from the oven, you add steam to these types of bread, it lands on it, that weak point opens. Now, you can get super fancy and do little patterns and colors. It is definitely, in my opinion, better to do a very clean score for the max volume.
Okay. Yeah.
But if you wanna have fun and you wanna, you know, showcase your work, or maybe you wanna do a little YouTube magic, you can make a little cool pattern with it.
Yeah.
Kids, my daughter can do it. She likes to score them. She put a little tree or something like that.
I love that you've got your kids involved.
Yeah.
Matthew, this is just incredible. Thank you for this bread. Absolutely great. Welcome back, everybody. When it comes to entertaining, DIY pizza parties are on fire this year because cheesy fun is perfect for any occasion, whether it's a laid-back hangout at a kid's birthday or a sophisticated dinner party.
An elaborate one at that. Well, here to show us how to elevate our next pizza party is YouTuber Matthew James Duffy.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to talk about my favorite thing, pizza.
It's my favorite thing. It's our favorite thing too. We love pizza.
But usually not making it, just eating it.
Yeah.
So let's talk about making it. And obviously, I feel like dough is fundamental. So take us through the fundamentals of a good pizza dough.
I would say the dough is the most important. Now, I prefer sourdough. The long fermentation gives a little bit of acidity to the dough. It's easier to digest, so you don't feel heavy after your party.
Oh,
It also just tastes the best. Now, you could also use yeast. Yeast is totally fine. It's really quick, easy. You can
Yeah.
make a pizza in start to finish in about 3 hours.
Oh.
Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, really, if you want to go even faster, you can just use a pita, an English muffin, maybe a bagel, tomato, cheese, pepperoni, put it in the oven.
I'm glad you said that because when I'm hungry, I'm a little impatient. I get hangry real fast. So I was like, ooh, 3 hours is a little long, but you're right. There's other things that make
it's
it much
quick.
faster. Okay, so today we're making our own pizzas with any type of dough. So what are the key elements to consider when we're making our own pizza?
While there's a few elements we want to consider, I mean, you want to consider what kind of pizza you're making, who's it for, and how you're going to serve it. So I like to walk through the process first. With the doughs, we're going to pull them out a few hours before we go to stretch them, let
Okay.
it come to room temperature.
Right.
And I mean, most of all, like you said, just have fun with it.
Right. Just have fun.
All right, can you talk to us about the stretching? Because we were so enamored when we saw you in the break, just kind of doing the thing with the pizza. How do you do that without
Sure.
making a disaster?
So what you're going to do first is press down in the middle of the dough.
You do it, honey. You do it.
We'll do it together. We'll do it together.
Okay.
Press down. You want to leave a little bit of a border. This is your cornicione.
Oh, I like
Then,
that.
to make it easy, just pick the dough up and start to turn it in your hand.
All right.
You can give it one of these with your hands out. Give it a
Jess has got it.
give it a toss. Yeah. So this is actually a really good. This is actually a really.
There's a little bit of a hole in
But
it. Okay.
You know what though? This happens and it's really easy to fix. You're just gonna.
Look,
the
it's
hole.
done. It's
Just
finished.
finish it up.
Even if the pizza's not great, it's still gonna be awesome. It's still gonna be good.
That's true. Bad pizza, good pizza, all pizza is good pizza. All right, so let's talk about the toppings. What are the techniques when it comes to toppings?
So there's a few techniques. I mean, ultimately, this is your pizza. You put whatever you want. If you want to put pineapple,
I
go
was just
for it.
about- How about pineapple?
Basil before cooking, I say go for it. You might have Italian grandmother punching the air, but the one thing though that I would try to avoid is you don't want anything really wet on your pizza. So for example, an overly ripe tomato is just gonna make the dough soggy and
I'll
weigh
let
it
you
down.
top.
Yeah, you did the
So-
hard work.
I did the bottom, you
You
did
want
the
to do
top.
that? We'll do this. So we're gonna start. Put your sauce all the way around.
Okay.
You've got a little bit of variety in front of you. I also would recommend, especially when you're first starting, just keep it really simple. In North America, we tend to have these overloaded pizzas.
Like more is better.
But I like
Yes.
this loaded. You like them
That's
simple?
okay. This is your pizza. You
This
put
is
what
your
you want on
pizza.
it.
Okay, so I first have to say this dough is the nicest dough I've ever touched. And second of all, you par bake your pizza. How come?
Yeah, so when we're cooking in a wood oven, which is what I typically do, you put everything on. But if you're doing it in a home oven, the cheese is gonna split and it's just not gonna look very good. It's gonna be dry.
Okay.
So we're gonna put just the sauce, par bake it, take it out and top it. It's also gonna help you when you're throwing your pizza party because
Okay.
it's less to do and you can actually enjoy your guests and spend time with them and talk to them.
Like we were just talking
Yes,
about.
that's what your guests want when you come
Oh my
over.
gosh, I love this.
Okay. I'm just gonna throw a couple more.
Couple
Do you
quick-
like it? Do you like it hot?
I do like it hot,
Okay, so
Andrea.
we're doing some jalapenos in too.
I'm gonna do a couple here too then.
Okay,
Okay.
this is looking
Just
great.
a couple.
Oh my gosh, I love lots of toppings. So I'm like, let's go.
I think these are ready to go into the oven. Okay, so I am going to put a pizza in the oven, aren't I?
Here's the key for you. So
Okay.
Sorry, I could keep topping.
Keep doing.
I use equal parts semolina and all-purpose flour.
Okay.
This is just gonna allow you to slide the pizza. Why don't you take this one?
Okay.
Then, instead of shooting the pizza in the oven, you wanna pull the peel away from it.
Pull the peel away.
Think of a magician and you're
think of
pulling
a
the
magician.
So
tabletop.
you shoot it and then pull?
Shoot it in and pull.
Let me
pull.
Okay,
help
here
you
we
out
go.
here.
This is a great contraption.
So put
shoot-
the whole
shoot
thing
it and
in.
pull.
Yeah, and easy. Yeah, perfect. That was pretty good.
Thank you, bud.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
More importantly, what are your tips for cooking a perfect pizza?
This is probably not what you want to hear, but it just comes down to practice. You just have to make a lot of pizza. The more you cook, the better you get. You'll understand your oven, the temperature. You just got to do it.
Okay.
You just got to do it over and over. And like we said, as a bonus, even if you make a mistake, it's still going to taste great. It's still going to make a good pizza. You get to eat it.
Yeah, no
great.
kidding, right?
Yeah.
Even bad pizza's good pizza, I think.
Yeah.
I love all pizza. All right, so I don't want to be Fire Marshal Bill, but that thing is smoking just a little bit. So if
That's
we
okay.
don't have
That's
an
okay.
oven like this
It's okay.
at home, is there how else can we cook pizza at home?
The best thing for me, well, we'll come back to that. So a pizza stone or a pizza steel, it's gonna have a thermal mass. It's gonna help cook the pizza really fast.
Okay.
Another option is a barbecue. If you're trying to avoid any smoke in your kitchen, the barbecue is
tip.
outside, you can throw it on. And then finally, my favorite, and I actually did this for my daughter yesterday for lunch, is a cast iron pan. You don't have to slide the
done that.
pizza in, you just put it in. It holds the thermal mass, the temperature. It'll give you a really crisp base. It's easy to work with.
Yeah.
And it's a pan pizza.
It's
It turns
so
out great.
good. We
That's
do that
brilliant.
at home all the time. Okay, so many different types of pizzas, but you brought 3 different types. Take us through them. Number
We're
1.
starting here with a Roman style al taglio. Now this is originated in the 1950s. It's more like a street food. The name actually stands for by the cut. So they'll cut it off, put it on a scale, and you can walk out with it. Moving on, we have a pizza palla. Now this is a dough that's cooked.
I'm dying
That
to
looks
this one.
gorgeous, huh?
I'm gonna give a peek. Oh, speaking of,
Are we good to take it out?
let's do it, yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Andrew's gonna take it out.
I'm taking it out?
Yep.
So on the pizza
got
alla
this.
palla,
I don't even have.
Yep.
and you can just throw it right there. That's pretty good, yeah.
That's good, bud. You just did
Not bragging, but I'm.
She's pretty good. So for this one, often they'll cut it in half and fill it like a sandwich.
Yeah.
I like to put the stuff on top of it. So mozzarella, mortadella, arugula, cherry tomatoes. And then moving on to here, we've got a Detroit pan pizza. My mom is from Windsor, and Motor City pizza is just something I've always eaten. You've got sauce on top, which is signature of Detroit pan pizza. This one's topped with pepperoni. Really good.
Classic.
Difference here to your traditional Neapolitan style pizzas, you have a much higher hydration, meaning more water in the dough. It's gonna give us a nice open crumb, so you can see all those little air pockets in your dough.
Yeah.
Nice chewiness, crispness, and it's also just a different pizza to work with, so you can really mix up your party.
My God, I just bought one of those pans. I'm so excited. Matt, thank you so much for this lesson on pizza making. Absolutely incredible. Wow. In 2020, we saw a rise in home bakers taking on the hobby of making sourdough bread. This year, it's all about pushing the boundaries and experimenting beyond that classic loaf.
So here with reinvented sourdough recipes is chef and baking professor Matthew James Duffy. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Matthew.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be here. I love being here.
First of all, I want to talk about a major controversy. It didn't involve you, so don't worry. But there was a woman on TikTok who posted a video, or someone posted a video of a woman making sourdough bread on a plane. And people were outraged that she had done this on a plane. I would like to know your thoughts on this.
I mean, it's definitely hilarious, and it was viral, so I think they got the point across, but have you ever been in an airplane bathroom before? It's totally gross. There's no way I would make bread on a plane. There's lots of good bakeries out there. You can buy it when you get there. That said, it gets people talking about sourdough, and I'm all for it.
Well, let's keep talking about sourdough because today we're talking about unexpected things we can do with this type of bread. Why do you think experimenting has become so popular right now?
You know what, I think people got through that initial phase of learning sourdough, they had some failures, and then they finally started making good bread, and it's natural to want to progress your learning. Any bread that's yeasted can be made into a sourdough version, and ultimately the original breads were sourdough. So now people are playing around, you get better taste, better flavor, and better digestibility in the final product.
Wow. So tell us about this toaster pie, because this looks incredible.
So the toaster pies are kind of like a sourdough puff pastry kind of thing, and then we've filled it with a strawberry rhubarb compote. We cooked that out in the...
I gotta try it.
Yeah, it's so good.
Well, we dig into this work of art, explain to us how some things work when you're experimenting with sourdough, but some things might not work.
You know what, I think everything works. Recently, we've been doing sourdough crackers, amazing way to use up old sourdough. We've done sourdough croutons. Taco Tuesday, you can make some sourdough tortillas.
Are you
Phenomenal.
serious?
Yeah, amazing. And then if you want to kind of go into more advanced skill, sourdough pretzels, sourdough pizza dough, and even something like sourdough bagels.
Oh my gosh. This is kind of blowing my mind. So while we dig into the sourdough bagel, can you tell us... Can you tell us how you make them once the dough is ready? Like, can anyone do this at home?
I think anyone can do it. Yeah, it takes a little bit of practice, but I mean, my 6-year-old can do it. So I think if she can do it, anyone can.
I don't know.
So you roll the dough into a cylinder, you loop it around your hand and kind of like crimp it. Then they get blanched in a boiling malt syrup solution. And what that does is it sets the outside. And if you want, you can roll it in seeds like sesame seeds, poppy seeds, everything bagel spice. And then after you just bake it.
Wow.
Blanch and bake.
Blanch and bake.
Your
Blanch.
6-year-old must be a wizard.
She's pretty good. Yeah, she's
Holy.
pretty good.
Oh my
She glazed
gosh.
the donuts this morning.
Very sweet.
Well, next, let's talk about this. This is a chocolate sourdough with sour cherries, white chocolate, and roasted walnuts. So tell us more about this.
Oh my God.
This is definitely one of my favorite breads. It's an absolute showstopper, crowd pleaser. This came about when my 3-year-old asked me for chocolate bread, so we made a cocoa paste, added that to the dough, and then the key is to fold the inclusions in. So we've got Niagara tart cherries, like you said, the roasted walnuts, the balance of flavors. For me, it's just perfect.
It's really...
It's sorry. You can't serve me this much delicious carbs and expect me to behave normally. This is so much fun. But I got a question, because this is absolutely delicious on its own, but let's say you wanted some spreads. Could you
Yeah,
put some spreads on?
I should have probably told you this before you tried it, but I love this strawberry Pinot Noir
That's okay.
jam. Yeah, I should have said that first. Amazing combo. And then if you really want to get really decadent, you could use your favorite chocolate hazelnut spread.
Wait here.
Thank you.
But that jam puts it over the top for me.
So wait, before I eat, how creative can you get with this? Can you get even more creative than this?
Yeah, you really can. I think if you follow some fundamental rules of baking, you can do anything. We recently did a sourdough s'mores with graham cracker, marshmallow, and chocolate. We've done candy-coated chocolate inside. And then if you want to move from chocolate and keep that color, you could use squid ink for a black dough. We've used matcha for a green dough. And I've even added pistachio paste. And you get this sort of army green, robust pistachio flavor. Amazing.
I am really excited about this next one, which is beetroot sourdough bread. So look at this, you guys. Look at this. So tell us about this while we once again get to sample.
So again, this was a child creation. They wanted a pink dough. So we juiced beets, and then we use that in place of the water in the dough. And then you add some roasted beet that's been grated. And in this case, I've added sesame. It's just a really like perfectly balanced earthiness for the dough.
Well, it's so beautifully subtle, the flavor. Why does the flavor word the beet work so well here?
So it really mellows in the baking, and you're not using that much in relation to the dough, so you get this super earthy undertone, and you get a little hint of sweetness from the beet. And then in this case, with toasted sesame, it kind of like brings those flavors round with that sourdough tanginess.
And you're sneaking in some veg
The best part.
as well, right? But I'm fascinated because if someone didn't like beets, if they said they didn't, that would be silly. But they would eat this and not realize realize that there's beets in it. And also, like, look at this dough. Why is it so purple, but it comes out like that?
Yeah, so my kids is, I can sneak beets and they will not touch beets, but they'll eat this. And then what happens here is when you bake it, it's a whole scientific another episode, but ultimately when you bake it, it loses the color. If you want to keep the color in the final dough, you can add an acid like ascorbic acid or citric acid in 0.5% baker's percentage, which is a ratio of flour to other ingredients, and it'll stay like that.
Okay, so we are ending on a more advanced recipe. These are sourdough donuts. So I didn't realize you could use sourdough to make a donut. Tell us about these and how they come together.
The first thing you got to know about these is it's a 3-day process. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. You start with mixing your sourdough starter. Then on day 2, we're gonna mix the dough. We're gonna shape them, allow them to ferment and rise overnight. And then on the 3rd day, we'll fry them, and you can let them settle like that.
Oh, good Lord.
How do you play around with the flavoring of these?
This is like, honestly, people ask these questions, but it's really up to you. So we've done, my favorite is lemon curd.
Yes.
You could use a hazelnut filling. You could use the same strawberry compote from the toaster pie in there. Whatever you want. Anything fruity, creamy, nutty goes super well with that sourdough tang in the dough.
Matt, marry me, and thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
Is there a food more universally loved than the sandwich? Well, Canadians eat more than, get this, 3.6 billion of them each year. And with the endless variations of toppings, sauces, proteins, and breads, it's easy to see why.
Yet sometimes a sandwich rut is inevitable when you make those tried and true combinations over and over and over. So our next guest is here to lead us into new territory with recipes from his debut cookbook, The Book of Sandwiches. Please welcome Jason Scrobar to the show!
First of all, congratulations. We're so happy for you. This is, I know it's a labor of love, but it was a lot of hard work.
It is. It's 3 years of well, it's hard work, but when you're working with sandwiches like this, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
It could be worse,
It could
right?
be, you're absolutely right. All right, so why did you decide to dedicate your first book to the sandwich?
Well, it goes back to that. I mean, I think everyone loves a good sandwich, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even a bad sandwich can be pretty good sometimes,
yeah.
right? Like, so I just thought, why not create a book, a beautiful book, dedicated to something that people love.
Yes.
Like when I talk to people about sandwiches, their face automatically starts to smile.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. And the beautiful thing about a sandwich is that you can have it literally any time of day. You've got the breakfast one.
That's right.
You can have it for lunch, you can have it dinner, you can have it late night.
And you can have it for dessert as well. We'll
And
talk about that later, but it encompasses everything you want.
Amazing.
Okay.
We're gonna
Let's get
start
to eating.
Yeah, with the breakfast sandwich. And like this one, like don't you love a breakfast sandwich? Like it's just a perfect way to start a day. Talk about this one.
Yeah, so this sandwich came together because I was in London in the UK and I was having a sandwich and they served, that's it. Now there's a quail egg on there, so it might get a little messy.
Okay.
But again, messy is good when it comes to sandwiches. But they served kale chips with this sandwich, and I thought, why not add the kale chips to the sandwich?
Yes.
So we've got a fried egg, we've got kale, crispy kale, we've got chorizo sausage, and we have a little bit of hot honey butter to go on that. So it's got all of these different textures and flavors, and it's, and the crunch of the bread.
Everything. Listen, if this sandwich was a man, I would marry him right now.
Right? Can I join you? I mean, we'll each...
Would you call him daddy or king?
I call him whatever you want. Call him whatever you want. All right, so let's go to another section of the book where it's a little bit more chic, and you have a sandwich called The Pretty One.
I do, right?
I love
So
that.
this one is called The Pretty One, and chic sandwiches to me are those sandwiches that are maybe a little bit more elevated. They're a little prettier.
Oh my goodness.
This one has a barbecue roasted salmon with, I know it's a lot, but I have faith in you. I think you can do it. It also has this beautiful, bright yellow, messy, but messy's good.
Messy is so good.
A aioli, some pancetta, and then some ribbons of cucumber. You put that together, and I know I've said this already today, but like, embrace the mess.
Well, let's talk about that because like this maybe wouldn't be someone's first date choice of food, but you say embrace the mess.
I do, because I think the messier the sandwich, sometimes equates a better sandwich.
I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna divorce that first sandwich and I'm gonna turn around, I'm gonna marry this.
But we haven't even gotten to the others, so
Wait.
who knows? You might go through a few divorces today.
I'm okay, I'm ready for it. Oh my gosh, this is so good.
I think you're ready for an open marriage.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so every sandwich, it feels like needs like a saucy mixture to really make it sing.
Mm-hmm.
How do we make sure that our condiments really level up our sandwiches?
Well, I think it's true. I think a really good sandwich has a really good sauce. And, you can play around with different flavor combinations. I think it's a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun when I was writing the book to come up with different sauces. This one is an aioli. In the next one, we've got a spicy peanut sauce. In this one, we have a hot honey butter. So you can really go all over the place when it comes to sauces.
Yes.
You've outdone yourself.
Oh, thank you.
Those 3 years were so well spent. Everything was incredible.
Thank you.
I know when we talk about sandwiches, we usually talk about meat, but is there a vegetarian option as well?
That's the thing, is that a lot of people equate sandwiches with meat, bacon, steak, whatever. But I think if you really think about different types of veggies that you can prop up with the sauce, with other toppings, with mushrooms and eggplant, they're heartier vegetables. And if you just play with that, with different flavor combinations, you've got a winning sandwich like this one here.
What is this called? This is a great way to stop hating on the eggplant.
This is called Stop Hating Eggplant, because I feel like a lot of people hate eggplant, but it's a fried eggplant with a spicy peanut sauce. And then I've got a really refreshing cabbage coleslaw on top. And texture, right?
Jason, it's so good. So good. You went with brioche bun here.
I did.
So talk about like the bread selection. I think can make or break as well. How do you, what are the rules surrounding that you follow, or are there any rules?
Well, I do have a rule in the book, but it's also one of those things where rules are meant to be broken, so don't feel like you have to stick to it. But I always say soft on the outside, crunchy on the inside, crunchy on the outside, soft on the inside. So meaning, like with this or a fried chicken sandwich or anything fried and crispy, go with a soft brioche. But if you're thinking something like pulled pork on the inside, like a nice baguette, crunchy baguette on the outside, and you're kind of like flipping things around.
You could tell me anything you want right now, eat whatever you make. But I do have a very important question for you. To toast or not to toast?
Okay, so
how do you feel
I
about
think
it?
there's a place for either. I love everything you see here today is toasted. I have a method for my favorite way of toasting in the book, but I love a toasted sandwich.
Me too. Yeah.
It adds a little bit of texture, a little bit of crunch, and who doesn't like a crunchy sandwich?
It feels wrong not to toast the bread.
Right?
It feels insulting to the bread.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, so we cannot leave without touching on the sweet sandwich,
That's
which
right.
I'd never even heard of a sweet sandwich, so I can't wait to try. Talk to us
Right.
about
Well, I think when you do think of sweet sandwiches, you might think of like an ice cream sandwich or a whoopie pie or a macaron. But this one is pretty unique to the book. I've done this. It's an ode to my dad's culture. There's a Eastern European sweet bread. I use a little bit of dulce de leche in the dough, and then what I've done is I've taken some stone fruit and I've macerated it with some champagne vinegar, and then I've finished it with.
I taste the champagne a little
Right?
bit.
Like, why not cheers with some fruit?
Oh my gosh.
And then a little bit of sabayon, which is just like an egg topping, an Italian egg topping, and then I finish it with some pistachios and, as they say, bam.
Oh my gosh, you know what? Will you marry me?
I will marry you. Let's go.
Let's do it.
I guess we know what we'll have at the reception.
Oh, it's gonna be sandwiches.
Oh my God, Jason, thank
So
you
good.
so much for bringing us all this lovely food.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
You're
Thank you.
incredible. Okay, the book is called The Book of Sandwiches. It is available now, and good news for our studio audience. You're all going home with your very own copy.